They came to my house. They arrested me in my house. They tied our hands. They tied a rope around our waists. They would take us to the head of the giant Buddha. They tied a rope around our waist and suspended us from there. We took drills in our hands and installed explosives. There was a terrible sound. When you looked, it was all fire, smoke, and dust. Whenever I see these empty places, I feel as if it is the day of my death. I was thinking, my God, when will my death come? When will they drop me down, kill me, and bury me here? What a horrible time it was.
It is this act of senseless destruction that the first major open-air excavation in Bamyan's history seeks to heal.
I think my father will find the sleeping Buddha. He's sort of a genius, and I know that he knows what he's doing. And I know for a fact that he will find it.
Dr. Tarzi believes he's closing in on a statue that rivals any wonder of the ancient world, the sleeping Buddha of Bamyan. After all, he relies on the word of a holy man who actually saw it, a Buddhist monk who's been dead for some 1,400 years. His name was Xuanzang, and in the 7th century AD, he trekked from China to India in search of sacred Buddhist texts. In 632 AD, Xuanzang had Bamyan in his sights.
These people are remarkable among all their neighbors for love of religion. There is not the least absence of earnestness and utmost devotion.
After a long desert trek, Bamyan must have been a vision of unsurpassed splendor. Xuanzang had arrived when the Silk Road oasis was at its zenith. What unfolded before him was a valley lush with agriculture and a vast royal city. But the valley's centerpiece would reward every arduous step of the pilgrim's journey of faith, the giant Buddha of Bamyan.
To the northeast of the royal city, there is a mountain on which is placed a stone figure of Buddha, 150 feet high. Its golden hues sparkle on every side, and its precious ornaments dazzle the eyes by their very brightness.
Xuanzang arrives here, and he is blown away by the gold, by the flames on the shoulders, by the mask. That description has to be the one that was situated where we are today, the 55-meter-high Buddha.
But according to Xuanzang, that wasn't all there was. Somewhere lay a third Buddha, more than 1,000 feet long. Part scholar, part detective, Dr. Tarzi knew that to find the sleeping Buddha, he first had to locate the monastery that housed it.
To the east of the city, 2 or 3 li, there is a monastery in which there is a figure of Buddha lying in a sleeping position as when he attained nirvana. The figure is in length about 1,000 feet.
Could Xuanzang's description be true? If so, hidden under centuries of earth, the monastery wasn't giving up its secrets. To unlock them, Dr. Tarzi had to get inside the head of the monk and plot each step of his journey.
De la ville royale, il arrive au Grand Bouddha.
From the royal city, he went to the big Buddha. Between the 2 Buddhas, he arrived at the monastery of the ancient king. He left there and arrived at the 38-meter Buddha.
That's the smaller of the two giant Buddhas which once stood here. Then came the critical last leg of Xuanzang's journey.
Il vient de la ville royale.
He leaves the royal city and travels a distance of 2 to 3 lees. He arrived at the eastern monastery, the monastery where he found the 1,000-foot Buddha.
Pinpointing the eastern monastery's location has thwarted explorers for the better part of a century. Xuanzang's starting point, the royal city, hasn't been precisely located, and his unit of measurement, the ancient Chinese li, can mean 1/3 of a mile or 4/10 of a mile. That left acres of ground to explore. Tarzi and his team dug test trenches for 1 year, then 2. Still, no monastery.
The excavation from the first year was over there, where the wheat is. This excavation showed us that there weren't any buildings in this area. So we decided to not excavate any more in this area, but moved over there, where there are more relics.
Over there, at the end of year 2, Tarzi struck pay dirt. Outlines of an immense structure unlike any he'd seen before. Could this be Xuanzang's monastery?
This year's excavation is a difficult one. It's like an autopsy of an enormous cadaver. I'm a bit lost in the guts, because the cadaver is huge.
For Tarzi, one feature of the building provided a tantalizing clue. Structural supports designed to accommodate something of monumental size and weight.
Look, take a look in this area. There is 1 wall, 2 walls, 3 walls, 4 walls. These walls were constructed very intelligently so that they would support an immense amount of weight. I think that we might be at the terrace level, where the big Buddha's feet might have been. In any case, it's very exciting. We have to be patient. We're looking for something big.
Yet already the archaeologist has extracted art objects nearly as extraordinary as the Colossus itself. And these exquisite Buddhist sculptures raise Tarzi's hopes that he's found Xuanzang's monastery.
From the moment that I found this collection of statues and the other things that we have found this year, God willing, we are in the monastery where the 1,000-foot sleeping Buddha was found. We are sure that we are in a monastery. 100% sure. I was going to say 1,000%.
But has the sleeping Buddha, like these sculptures, survived the onslaught of 1,400 years? Dr. Tarzi and his students are due back at school in France. He has just a week to find out. Dr. Tarzi is far from alone in his quest to right wrongs committed by the Taliban. He's part of a brotherhood of Afghan artists and art lovers for whom the destruction of the Bamyan Buddhas became a thundering call to arms. With courage and ingenuity, they began fighting back.
I became very sad when I heard that the statue in Bamyan had been destroyed. A rumor was spreading that the artwork exhibited in the National Gallery and the National Museum would be the next victims.
Mohammed Youssef Assefi is a medical doctor and prominent Afghan painter. For him, the Taliban's reign of terror hit home when henchmen slashed artwork at the presidential palace and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Some of the paintings were Assefi's own.
I must tell you, I wanted to cry.